Had myself on mute there. Good morning, everyone. I think I'm a few minutes early, but that's okay. I think my timer was a little bit off, but that's all right. We get started because I have a lot to share. Welcome and thank you for coming to the weekly live of Relationship Communications. Welcome to this week's weekly live. I am thrilled that you are here with me. For those of you joining for the first time, I'm Lisa DeToffel, and I'm the founder of Relationship Communications. It's my online community where I work with established and aspiring entrepreneurs. And today I'm going to be your host for Relationship Communications Weekly Live. If you are joining me live, I would love for you to say hello and let me know where you're coming in from. And if you're watching this later, please do use hashtag replay. This is my weekly live that I live stream every Friday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern. So I do hope that you will put that on your calendar and make plans to join us every Friday morning at 10 a.m. As I said, I'm coming a little bit early this morning, so my apologies for that. And my goal here is to share tactical and practical information to help you get where you want to be faster than you can go on your own. I've been an entrepreneur for over 6 years and I've made many mistakes. And I'm here to tell you I can help you move through them more quickly by sharing what I've learned through my experiences. Let me know again who's joining me live and where you're coming in from. I would love to hear that. Now, we are streaming on various different platforms. So if you are watching us on YouTube, go ahead and hit the subscribe button so that you can be notified every time that we do go live. Again, thank you for joining me today. And I hope you find what I share beneficial to you and your business. So today we're going to be talking about mindset shifts for networking. Networking is a very big topic in the professional world for sure. It can help you grow your business. It has helped me grow my business. And I'm a very big networker. So I believe wholeheartedly in a lot of these tips and the information that I'm going to share with you today. So again, I know we came on a couple of minutes early. So if you have not yet said hello, go ahead and do that in the chat box and let me know where you're coming in from. Or go ahead and hit that bell if you're watching on YouTube and subscribe so you can be notified every time we go live. So before we dive into our topic today, I do want to introduce myself. When I was a preschool teacher in 2017 and 25 years prior to that, I dreamed of working from home. But I had been through 2 messy divorces, and it did not seem possible at that time. I had been a single mom twice, and it just wasn't possible. I was the breadwinner for the family, and of course, I was definitely had some scarcity going on for sure. Around taking a chance of doing anything or going out on my own. So it didn't happen back then. But then I met my current husband, Jeff, in 2012, and we got married shortly after that. And then I could see the possibility of my dream coming true. However, it was not an easy task, I'll be honest. But with Jeff's support, I started a training program and learned how to be a virtual assistant in 2018, in which they showed me actually how to start and set up my business in that training program as well. So by the end of that training program, which was a 6-month program, took me about a year because I was still teaching in the classroom at the time. I had a couple clients and have continued since then to just move my business forward and, of course, build the Tiger Eye Solution team. I created the team in 2021 after the pandemic happened, and our current team now is up to 12 virtual assistants that can help in various different areas. So my life definitely looks a whole lot different now than it did back then. This is my husband, Jeff, and I, and our 3 children, Caleb, Matthew, Alyssa, our 3 grandchildren, JP, Hattie, and the newest one who is now 5 months old, Anakin. So Our next family photo, he will be included. So those are coming up in the very near future. So let's dive into mindset shifts for networking. You definitely need to have a certain mindset when you are networking. Okay, I will share that up front, and then we'll go ahead and dive into all the good, juicy information I have to share today. So, relationship marketing, or sprinkling, as I like to call it, basically is telling everyone you know about what you do or about your business. Okay. So let's dive into this. As a professional, you've likely heard that you need to spread the word about your business to be successful. And that's true. And networking is also a great way to do that. Before learning, a good rule of thumb around networking, this was my experience. There's a lot of noise out there and a lot of people making small talk, okay, when you go to a networking event. And I don't like to make small talk. I'm an introvert. And some of you may be the same, right? So, I'm terrible at small talk. I'm not going to walk up to a stranger and just start talking to them. And, and I don't like to sell. So I don't like to sell myself or sell my business, or my services or what it is I do. So talking about those things in a room of complete strangers was not my forte at that time, for sure. So, like I said, before learning the good rule of thumb around networking, it was my experience. Walk into a room, there's a lot of noise going on, there's a lot of people are making small talk, which I'm terrible at. And, I don't like to sell. So what I normally did was I showed up, talked to one person, maybe one person that I already knew. I would chit chat with that person, and, even the person maybe at the welcome desk where I signed in, if I'm at a in-person networking event. Then I would go to the ladies' room. In other words, I would go hide, right? And at the end of the meeting, I would try to get out of there as fast as possible. I've talked to a couple of people. I'm good. I'm ready to leave, right? That was my experience of networking in the very beginning. Because like I said, I'm an introvert. I don't like talking to people, especially people I do not know. Now, if I know you, that's a different story. Yes, we can have a conversation. But if I don't know you, no, I'm probably not going to talk to you very much. But I knew, like I said, that was my experience in the very beginning when I first started my business. But I knew I had to shift my mindset, because if I didn't, I was not going to have a successful business, right? But I wanted to do it in a way that was not going to feel icky or scary or like I was selling, my services or myself or whatever. So for those of you that think it feels icky to network, I'm here to tell you that you can take the ick out. Just don't be icky. It don't have to be that way. So don't be the thing you don't want it to be. You don't have to be spammy. Just don't be all those things. Okay. And I'm going to share with you how, you can go about it in a different way if you just change your mindset. So, like I said, we're going to talk about all those things. And this is what I want you to know. So this is my overview of networking. You can dress in professional clothes. You enter the event and you look in the room and you realize you don't know anyone. And you're like, oh no. So you're standing there and you feel stupid. So maybe you talk to a couple of people. And how many of you have done this? I've done this myself. You walk into a networking event and there's a group of people. You're kind of stand in their circle or try to go join their circle so you can kind of join the conversation, right? And they don't open the circle. And you're like, OMG, they're not talking to me. And they're not going to let me join in on the conversation. right? And your brain is going crazy. And you're thinking, what am I even doing here? Right? Do I even want to have my own business if this is what it's going to be like, right? This is crazy. I'm good at what I do. And why do I have to do this? Why do I have to come and expose myself to people I don't know? You know, this is stupid. I don't want to be here. I just want to go home and do my work, right? Okay, so how many of you have felt this way? Put it in comments. Just say me if you have felt this way. I know I did in the very beginning. So you go get in the car and you feel like you failed because you really didn't have as many conversations as you was hoping to have or that you wanted to have at that event. So you feel like you didn't tell anyone what you do and nobody has tried to work with you or hire you, which is a big mindset shift that we're going to make. Okay? Just think that you don't have, you might think that you don't have what it takes. Well, let me tell you, you do. So if that's what networking is like for you, we're going to shift that, okay? So if you are here live, go ahead and comment and say hello and let me know that you're here, where you're coming in from. I would love to hear that. Yes, we came on a little bit early today, but I have a lot to share around this topic, mindset of networking. So hope you'll settle in with us and maybe even take notes if you like on what I'm sharing today. So again, if you've been playing small with your networking and you think it's not for you because you're an introvert like myself and you don't like going into a big room and talking to people you don't know, well, we're going to change that today. Okay. So what I want to tell you is what networking actually is. Okay. So because a lot of people have a preconceived notion about what networking is. You think it's selling. You think it's convincing people to work with you. You think it's spammy. You think it's getting in people's face. And it's not any of those things, okay? It really, really isn't. So I want to talk about what networking actually is. Networking is the action or process of interacting with others to exchange information and develop professional or social contacts. I'm going to repeat that, okay? Networking is the action or process of interacting with others to exchange information and develop professional or social contacts. So take that in for a minute. It's basically talking to people to exchange information. That's it. You're just talking to them and exchanging your information with them. You get their contact information, they get your contact information. You tell them a little bit about what you do, they tell you a little bit about what they do. And that's all it is. I mean, if you start talking about other things in the conversation, that's okay too. But the purpose that you're there is to exchange information. And then if you want to continue the conversation, you can reach out to them after the event and schedule a one-on-one conversation or coffee chat, as I like to call them. So when people are at networking events, they don't want to be sold to, just like you don't want to be sold to, right? Sometimes people do, which makes things a little uncomfortable, but that doesn't mean that you have to. Okay, that's not what you're there for. You're not there to try to sell yourself, your services, your products, whatever it is that you have. That's not what you're there to do. So, like I said, it doesn't have to be that way. And what you're trying to do is just exchange information. That means tell people about what you do to develop personal and social contacts. So basically, you're at an event to talk about what you do, to meet people, and to make friends. And that's it. That's what you're there for. That is what you are there to do at that specific event. And some of my closest friends I have met at networking events. I have quite a few on my professional friend list, you might call it, that I have met at networking events. And we have stayed in touch. We support each other, etc. Okay? So you want to make friends. You want to build relationships. That's what you're there to do. So some of my team members even I have met through my networking efforts. So what you have to do is completely take the pressure off and remove all the stress that you're attaching to networking. It's all in your head. You're just attaching that emotion or those feelings to the action of networking, because networking is an action. You're going to go to a live event or an in-person event, or you're going to attend an online event, right? But you're there to network, and you're making it stressful on yourself through the mindset that you currently have around networking. So just don't attach that type of mindset to networking, okay? When you remove all the pressure and tell yourself, I'm here, I'm going to meet some people, I'm going to tell them about what I do and listen to what they do and have no expectations of being hired, have no expectations of people wanting anything from me or thinking that I want something from them. It's a very natural situation. So you have to take the emotion out of it. And if someone is looking at you across the room, I want you to think, oh, this sweater must be really great on me because someone's checking me out and thinking they might want to talk to me or something. Instead of, oh no, this is the wrong color, or this is, my hair's all over my head. The wind, blew it all out of place, whatever. And the other things, that we might attach to all that. Excuse me. And we're just wanting to listen to what the other person is talking about. Okay. And if you're prepared for the event, you're going to probably sound impressive, right? When you start talking about sharing your information, in other words, and talking about what you do and talking about your business. Okay. So I'm going to give you what you need to sound impressive. And you might think or compare yourself to them and put yourself down. You need to knock all that off, because people are people. Okay. They're going to be, and they're going to think whatever it is they think. Okay. But if you think of the meeting as kind of like mingling with the general public, and there's going to be all different kind of people there that, you'll want to talk to, or they may want to talk to you for a couple of minutes just to kind of see who you are and what you do. And you're doing the same. You want to see who they are and what they do, right? The thing is that all the scripts that are in your head, they're telling you how terrible this is, and you need to stop them and put something else in there, right? And you're going to have to practice. I've shared all that before, right? Practice what you want to say before you get there. It's not a one and done type of thing, okay? But I do want you to take the pressure off. Here's the thing. You might need to visit many networking events before you find one you like, okay? And one that resonates with you. I have been to many in-person and online networking events, okay? And most of the groups were not my people. So I didn't go back to that meeting. I continued looking for other meetings. And, I'm looking for other entrepreneurs that I can talk to about my business, and they can talk to me about their business, and we can bounce ideas off each other, okay, and create a relationship. I have a meeting today with a woman I have networked with before, and she's in some groups and stuff that I'm in, and I have an idea that I want to run by her and get her opinion and her thoughts on. I met her networking at a networking event, and so I sent her an email yesterday, said I need to talk to you. I have this idea, and she agreed. So we met networking, and we're helping each other. We are supporting each other in each other's business, okay? It's a business camaraderie, if you will, okay? So if you go and you don't like the people, go to another one. No big deal, okay? Just don't go back to that one. Go to a different one. You wasted 2 hours. It's not really even a waste. You practice talking about what you do. You picked out a professional outfit or clothes, so don't sweat it. And you'll have to do the same thing at the next event you choose to go to, right? So I have been to so many groups where I thought I should have stayed at home. But the truth is, I crossed a group off my list that doesn't work for me, right? And you will do the same. And then one day I walked into a group and I looked around the room and said, wow, these women are impressive. And of course, the imposter syndrome kicked in, or the gibberish kicked in, and said, oh, should I be here? Then I'm like, you should be here. And then I met 1 or 2 people, and I just watched, that specific time that I visited. I watched all the women in the room and how they talked to each other, how they conducted themselves, all the things. And I'm naturally not a talker, but I went back the next time and the next time and figured out those women are kind of cool. She seems really friendly, or she seems approachable. And I met 2 or 3 people. Then I really pulled myself together, and I'm going to ask to meet them for coffee or have a coffee chat with them. And I did. And all those women are in my circle now and support me, and I support them. And they tell other people about me and my business, and I'm telling other people about them and their business. We are using the natural quality that human beings have, which is helping each other out. But everybody doesn't help everybody. When you find your people, it's really great. So then you start to attend the same meetings over and over. You walk into the room, either virtually or in person. They say, Lisa, how are you doing? In other words, they know who you are, right? And someone comes over and says, someone told me about you. Can we talk? Light bulb goes off, right? You definitely want to talk to that person. And then you make friends. So if you take all the emotion and the selling, the ickiness away, and you just think about it like a business cocktail party without the cocktails, or it could be more relaxing, or like a social, you're going to a social, but you're talking about business. Okay. It's really meant to be like that. And it's not always like that, because the world isn't perfect, but it is out there, and you can find it. You can find your people, right? I found it, various different times, but I also didn't find it many, many times. So don't let it get under your skin. Like come home and go, wow, I didn't really like that group. Maybe I'll go back one more time, but it just didn't feel right. Okay. And then keep looking, keep attending other events. So it's not a one and done. It's a continuous, ongoing adventure, if you want to call it that, till you find your group of people. Okay. So you got networking events and you say, okay, I networked. It's not that simple. It doesn't work like that. So go find some friends. Go find some business friends and hang out with them. It's not something you just check off your list. Okay, I went to a networking event. Check. That's not how you do this. Yes, you went to a networking event, so it is something you did that was on your to-do list. However, if the event you went to is not where you're comfortable or those were not your people, then you're not done. You're never done, really, with networking. It's an ongoing cycle. I just went to a networking event online earlier this week. And my network's fairly large because I've been networking for over 6 years. So, but I still go and meet more new people and tell them about my business and what I do. So it's an ongoing task. It'll never be a task that's done, completed. I mean, unless your network gets so big and you don't want to grow it anymore, but I don't think that's going to be the case. My network is very, very large. However, I continue to grow it, continue to meet new people, continue to try to build those relationships with those people that I meet, because the more people that know about you and your business, that's how your business grows. You're going to gain more business that way. Okay. So, go find you some more business friends and hang out with them. Okay. And here's something you have to do. You have to be able to talk to people. Sorry, I haven't got that far yet. You have to be able to talk about your work and what you do in a clear and simple way. Because if you show up and someone asks what you do and you just start talking and talking and talking and talking, they're not going to have any idea about what you're talking about or have any idea about what you do in your business. Okay. There's a ton of information, that's coming up and coming in. And this is kind of what I talk about in the networking launchpad that's coming up in January. So I want to share with you how I can help you start the new year off running and kickstart your networking journey, or add to your networking journey if you have been networking for a while. So we are launching the Networking Method Launchpad on January 8th of 2025, where I will share with you how to start your networking journey and build your network on a regular basis. No matter if you're starting it from scratch or you have been networking for a while. These are tried and true methods that I teach that I have actually done myself. And, I've been doing it since 2018, right? Everyone is welcome to this 3-day free event. This is a free event. So mark your calendar to join us for part 1 on January 8th of 2025. We have a private Facebook group where everything will be taking place to sign, so you do need to sign up for the Launchpad so that you can get invited to that specific Facebook group. It will be lots of fun. We have prizes to give away, so you don't want to miss it, okay? So in part 1, we're going to be talking about what is networking. A little bit of that I shared with you today, but it'll be more in depth in the Launchpad, okay? And then part two is really magical because we learn how to get real about your networking. And then part three, we learn how to start from where you are. There will be homework involved, very simple homework each day. There's a lot of bonuses and so much more. And I'm going to open the doors, of course, to the Networking Method Academy, which is my 6-month signature course on how to make the most of your networking efforts. And I would love to have you to think about that, of possibly joining us in the Academy. So mark your calendar for January the 8th. That's when the Launchpad will start. It's a 3-day event. These are the 3 days that the Launchpad will be taking place. And I would love to have you come join us and learn a lot more around networking and how it can work well for you, and you can build the network that you want. So I hope everyone has a great weekend. I hope you have some fun things planned. This is the holiday season or the holiday time of year. So I'll see you all again next week.